Okay guys, what is going on? I go by the name of Pete on the beat. In this video I would like to show how to prep an awesome high fat, high protein, high omega-3 meal. And before I start with the whole explication and before I show the kitchen footage and all that, I would like to point out that this meal is something like a treat for me. This is definitely not the meals that I do on a day-to-day basis, and there are several reasons for this. So the first reason is the fact that typically I'm not fish type of guy. The other reason is the fact that I do not consume sour cream on a day-to-day basis. This is something like a treat. But the most important thing for this meal is the fact that when I do this meal occasionally, it gives me like vivid dreams, and I'm about to show the quality of my sleep and basically how my sleep looked on this night after having this particular meal. As you probably know, I do one meal a day. This is definitely not a cheat meal. I do not do cheat meals and that kind of stuff. And this definitely do not affect my performance, but on the other hand, it's also definitely something that I do not enjoy on a day-to-day basis. And this meal actually gives me a lot of vivid dreams. For example, if I do this meal once in a while, like once every 10 days, I will definitely have vivid dreams. And I had a vivid dream last night. So if you're interested in lucid dreams and vivid dreams, matter of fact, I can get even lucid dreams, but this is something that is pretty rare for me. And the other thing that I would like to point out is the fact that if I do this meal on a day-to-day basis, I'm not gonna be able to get vivid dreams on a day-to-day basis. But if I do it once in a while, I get vivid dreams or lucid dreams, and I sleep less, which means that I sleep less than even 6 hours, and I'm extremely happy to share this with you. I'm gonna show the total quality of my sleep. So with that being said, let's get busy. So the first ingredient that we're going to need in order to prep this awesome meal are a few pounds of wild-caught trout. Here I have around a couple pounds of wild-caught trout, and here I would like to point out that you can do salmon. Salmon works great. It is extremely high in the omega-3s and that kind of stuff. But I do not do salmon because I'm not able to get my hands on wild-caught salmon or sockeye salmon. And all of the salmon that is available in my local area is basically farm-raised, and I really want to stay away from this type of fish. Keep that in mind. The next thing that we are going to need are around 7 to 8 whole organic free-range eggs, high in omega-3s. And the third ingredient that we are going to need basically is my favorite grass-fed Kerry Gold butter. You probably already know that if you're familiar with my YouTube channel and if you watch my other videos. Besides this, we are going to need an oven and a relatively big pan that I'm about to show you in a minute. So as you can probably see guys right now on the screen, the first thing that I'm about to do is to prep the fish. Basically what I'm about to do is to peel off the skin. I prefer to remove the skin. I really do not enjoy having the skin and that kind of stuff. For me there is no point to consume the skin, but this is just personal preference. If you prefer to keep the skin, this is perfectly fine, but I prefer to remove the skin. The second thing that I'm about to do is to search for a little like bones. If I find some bones and that kind of stuff, I will remove the bones as well. This is how I prefer to prep my fish. So after this, I'm gonna prep the fish in this like baking paper. I prefer to use a lot of baking paper because I really prefer to not wash dishes. It's a lot cleaner. I do believe everything cooks better in baking paper. It really doesn't matter if we talk about yams or different types of meat. Anyway, I digress, sorry about that. So the next thing that we're going to do after we already have our fish like prepped without skin, without bones and that kind of stuff, we are going to do a little bit of seasonings. We are going to add the sea salt, high iodine sea salt. You are able to see the little crystals on top of the fish right now on the screen. We are going to put the fish into the oven for around an hour to an hour and a half. It really depends on your personal preferences, on around 140 degrees Celsius. So after we leave the fish in the oven, we are going to prep the eggs, and what we need for this is basically this relatively big pan that I'm showing you right now. Of course, my favorite Pyrex pot, and right now we are going to throw 7 whole eggs into the Pyrex pot, and we are going to melt around 50 grams of grass-fed Kerry Gold butter. Me personally, I prefer to use the salted version because I love a lot of sodium and I prefer to keep my sodium as high as I can, and my water as well. But you can do the unsalted version and basically do only additional seasonings as long as for the salt and that kind of stuff. So after we put the eggs into the pan, we are going to cover the pan and we are going to leave the pan on the hot plate for around 15 minutes or even less than 15 minutes, around 10 to 15 minutes on medium heat. And during this time I'm gonna show you what else we are going to use. We are going to use around at least like 400 grams of sour cream, organic full fat sour cream, and this is like my type of a treat. If I decide to do something like a treat, I'll definitely do some form of wild caught fatty fish and of course full fat organic sour cream. This is my type of treat, and when I talk about this treat, I do not see it as some like cheat meal or whatever. I actually enjoy the sour cream, I ain't gonna lie about this. Definitely I enjoy the fish as well, but it's because I'm able to get vivid dreams. The other main reason why I do this occasionally is the fact that for me personally this works that effectively, getting vivid dreams, getting like amazing sleep quality with even less sleep than the sleep that I do now, like 6 hours. You're gonna be able to see right now on the screen. On this night I did like 5 hours and 26 minutes, which I'm pretty proud of myself, because on the next day, today, I feel amazing and I can do like all types of things that I want to do. This will not interfere my performance or the level of satisfaction that I have on the next day, or my pumps or whatever. This works that effectively for me only if I do it once in a while. In the past, when I used to do the meat and eggs that, I've tried this multiple times, like for a week in a row, like constantly having this exact meal on a day basis. But basically the results were not the same. It works the best when I do it once in a while. And here I would like to point out that this might not produce the same or identical results for you as well, but I definitely encourage you to give it a try. And also, if you're like a fan of the ketogenic lifestyle, the 1 meal a day plan, you search for all types of great recipes in order to keep your blood sugar levels stable throughout the day, definitely give this meal a try, because in my personal opinion it's tasty as fuck. Like, it's really delicious. The fish with the salt and the eggs, everything goes hand to hand, and basically the full fat organic sour cream is something like an awesome dessert. Matter of fact, if you're a fan or if you're familiar with probably the biggest ketogenic specialist, Dr. Dominic D'Agostino, he basically does this like dessert type of thing with MCTs and sour cream. For me, the MCTs are too much of a stimulation, especially before I go to the bed, and for me there is no point to do the MCTs since I'm going to the bed. Basically they burn extremely fast. There is no point for me to do MCTs since after eating I'll go to the bed. Let me put it like this. I hope that makes sense to you. But you on your side, you can definitely do some form of a non-refined version of coconut oil or MCTs if you're a fan of MCTs. I'm just giving you this as an example. So right now guys, everything is done, and I would like to show the final product. In my personal opinion, everything looks like fantastic, and this is exactly the way how it tastes. So this is how the whole meal looks. This is the typical dish. In this little cup I got around 400 grams of sour cream. Actually I did 800 grams of full fat organic sour cream. As long as for the total calories or macronutrient ratios, I really don't want to break anybody's heart, but as I've mentioned in one of my previous videos, nowadays I do this experiment. I really want to be able to not track my calories, since all the like top-notch 1 meal a day practitioners such as Serge Nubret and others, they do not track their calories and they are in fantastic shape. They have amazing conditioning throughout the whole year. So I do this for myself in order to find out, am I going to be able to maintain decent conditioning, grow new muscle tissue, and even become leaner without tracking any calories, like any calories at all, and basically consuming all of my favorite foods until I reach like satisfaction. All of my favorite foods that I consume on a day-to-day basis. I will be so happy guys if you give me some comments in the comment section down below, as long as for your personal experience with the meal. Are you able to get into the vivid dreams or into the lucid dreams? What is the overall quality of your sleep after having this particular meal? And yeah, this will be great. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up for now. I would like to thank you for watching. Please stay tuned for more. Oh, and by the way, this meal is great for gains, by the way.